Well, if the reason that you are failing isn't because you are failing, it's because your brain has got really fucking good at finding evidence that you are failing. Welcome back to the series where we are talking a little bit about the psychology of progress, the sticking points, behaviors and habits that we create around this, and the thought patterns and behaviors that can make losing weight that whole lot harder. Today, we're talking about the negative feedback spiral, that tornado of negativity that I mentioned in my last video. Because in a negative feedback spiral, you have one thing go wrong, then you find another, then you find another, and then you find another. And then suddenly you're thinking, see, I told you I couldn't do this. I told you I'd fuck this up. So what happens when your brain starts looking for evidence that it's failing? And maybe more importantly, what evidence is it ignoring that you're not? Your brain gets really good at finding what you are repeatedly asking it to look for. And if you've spent your entire week telling yourself you're failing, I'm rubbish, I can't do this, I never amount to anything, nothing is working, your body is going to start looking for proof to match that conclusion. This might start with, I've had a bad day, I've missed a workout, I binge ate a little bit. Even some simple things like I didn't do the laundry or somebody didn't text me back. And your brain tells you, see, I told you. And you reinforce those negative pathways in that negative tornado spiral that everything is negative. You get sucked into the eye of the tornado of negativity. But the really interesting thing is loads of positive stuff is happening at the same time. While there may be this thin line of bad stuff where the tornado has wrecked houses and stuff, you've got the rest of the landscape, which is good. We were on track most of our days. We hit workouts, we hit steps, we had good conversations, we spent time with friends and family that made us fill with joy. Because your brain is looking for failure, looking for you to not have success in your diet and your life, you miss all of that good stuff. You disregard how important that is. You don't give it equal weighting as the bad stuff, and only the negative stuff counts. Your brain tells you, negative, this is what counts. The win, irrelevant, it's just what should be happening. It should be a baseline. And this is where I want to start challenging your narrative. I want you to be in the position where you think the other way round. I'm not talking about fake it till you make it. I'm not talking about fake positivity, la-di-da. I'm just asking you to search for balanced evidence. We've already talked in my last video about catching yourself before you get sucked into the tornado. So I want you to ask yourself, what are the things that I'm doing that are evidence that things aren't working right now? Write them down, voice note them to yourself. But on the flip side, I want you to ask, then what's the evidence that things are? And what am I ignoring? The second question, that is the powerful question. Because you already know the answer to the first one, but we haven't thought about the second one. But maybe we can think about it in a different light. Maybe our scales have stalled, but we've got stronger. Maybe you've had a really shit week mentally, but you still hit all of your calories across all of your days. Maybe we binge ate at the weekend, but we nailed every workout this week, and we can try again tomorrow. Maybe one meal didn't turn into a whole weekend of binge eating, and that's what it used to be like before. Your momentary lapse didn't become a weekend-long bender of fuck it. Maybe work has been super stressful, but you got outside, you spent time with family, you got some fresh air, and these are all positives in managing stress, load, and emotion. We're not looking for fake positivity, we're looking for progress. We're looking for things that we didn't notice that we were doing, that we weren't doing before. We are trying to catch that pattern before we jump into the spiral of negativity. Not everything's going to be perfect. You can't pretend that. But we can take positives from the things that we're doing. When something goes wrong and you find yourself immediately searching for that next thing that went wrong already or is gonna go wrong, that may have not even happened yet, catch yourself. That's your cue to stop, pause. You don't need another piece of evidence. You need that wider picture. It is not just the path of destruction that the tornado leaps, it's everything else around it. I need you to ask yourself, what have I done despite of being ill, unwell, or feeling bad? What would I give myself credit for if I wasn't being so harsh to myself? And a big one, if my friend was going through this, how would I talk to them? Would it all be negative? Or would you find things to help them along their way? And would you have a friend at the end? You need to start collecting these positive things as much as we've collected those negative things, if not more. You can train yourself to notice those positive things, not because everything's perfect, but because they're going on. They are part of that bigger picture. Sometimes progress isn't about doing more. It's about learning to notice the progress that you're already making. If you got this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. And join me next time in this mini-series when we talk about ways and methods to start recognizing that positivity and pull us out of that spiral and find positive actions that we have done so that we don't end up in that spiral long term. Peace.